From the post-millennial, Nancy Pelosi files for re-election at 84 years old. I thought she was retiring.
How can you retire when you're that good at picking stocks because of your job?
Right, I need her for another couple of years for my own benefits.
It's because the Democratic Party is dead.
Yeah.
The party is done. Nancy Pelosi, I thought this was going to be her last run. She's 84, and she's filing for re-election. And you know why? Because she sat there and she was like, we've got nobody. We've got nobody. Yep. Who takes over? I mean, you got Hakeem Jeffries, but the party is fractured. This is wild.
Wasn't she just like counter-signaling Trump because of his age too, or his alleged mental decline or something?
After Joe Biden dropped out, Trump became old apparently as soon as Biden dropped out, and then he started caring about age, but not when it comes to her.
Wow. I almost selfishly am glad that she's still in, because I know a lot of like older Republican voters who, if you say Nancy Pelosi's name in their house, I mean, that really like lights a fire in their belly. So it's almost better that you've got like years of just pent up rage just down at just Nancy Pelosi, and we can use that to get us over the line in the second Trump administration.
There's an interesting phenomenon happening right now, because I mentioned this earlier in the week. I was ragging on MSNBC and CNN, and then I realized something. Their key demo ratings, 70K and 90K. And I was like, wow. David Pakman and Brian Tyler Cohen, they get substantially more views in the key demo. Why are we talking about these people? The issue then is similar with Nancy Pelosi. We talk about her not because she's maintained power, but it's because she's the known Democrat political rival. Like you were saying, these older Republicans, they know her name. Mm-hmm. How many AOC, I guess.
They hate AOC. Nancy Pelosi, maybe Schumer, Jeffries.
Nadler still around?
Nadler is still around, yeah.
Oh, okay, there you go. We don't like that guy.
Duckworth lady.
You know what's funny is how
Squad.
Isn't it?
Squad, yeah.
I mean, some of them are gone though.
Yeah.
That's right. Bowman's gone. Amen.
Who's going to be the Pelosi once Pelosi's gone? I mean, you're right. We should be glad she's filing because we need her so we can rag on her.
We did. There was a time where it seemed like it was going to be the Squad, but I think that with the way that the American people are kind of rejecting the far left.
Yes.
With AOC taking her pronouns out of her bio, you know.
Yeah.
It actually happened a year ago, mind you guys.
Well, I think that she's going to start moving to the right, because I think that she's going to end up with a family and start.
Yeah. Well, that's the rumor right now.
You know.
But
she's pregnant?
Yeah.
Well, people are just saying that.
Oh.
But she said she found out that her constituents were voting for Trump. She said, "What shows are you watching? Give me some recommendations."
Yep.
I mean it. I'm going to watch them. And then, surprise, surprise, how much you want to bet? She's going to go, I started listening to, and then she's going to say like Theo Von or something. She's going to go for like a normie comedy podcast and be like, and I started to get it. And so, okay.
I mean, that's what happens with anybody in the whole world, the United States of America, is when you get off the Democratic plantation and start paying attention to middle of the ground, conservative, right-leaning people who actually make sense of what they're saying. You can break apart from the cult. You can break apart from.
But she knows she's lying.
Well, maybe she watches something and is like, okay, maybe this actually affects her brain.
I trust the least is Cenk Uygur, because that guy's flipped back and forth way too many times. It's like he's trying to be this leftist populist while at the same time criticizing them for everything they believe. Anna Kasparian's the one that kind of seems legit.
Yeah.
She got assaulted by a homeless guy, and then they attacked her for it.
Put her world upside down.
Yeah, and then it wasn't just that, it was that, and then there was the whole birthing person. She was like, don't call me a birthing person, and they called her a Nazi for that. Like, if you do, and that's the thing with the left, if you do the smallest, you have the smallest offense, and they go right to you're a Nazi, because there were people in the Young Turks chat and stuff calling her a Nazi because she said, don't call me a birthing person. It's like, have more than one speed, right? You don't need to go straight to genocide right off the bat because she said, don't call me a birthing person. Like, it's absurd. And it is because of that behavior that she was like, wait a minute. Maybe I need to rethink some things. And then she started watching, the Kyle Rittenhouse stuff. And then she's like, holy cow, I was wrong about that. What else have I been wrong about? And once you see through the curtain, once you see the man behind the curtain, then it's a downhill from there. It's all over.
Well, Kyle Kalinske and Crystal Ball seem to have lost their minds. I don't know what happened there. Are they just like sitting in a room, constantly one-upping each other and getting all riled up?
I watch
She
Breaking
has
Points a lot.
She has just truckloads of money, and so Kyle Kalinske can say whatever crazy thing he wants.
And
She has
she's got a good
truckloads of
show.
money?
She's got Saga,
money, yeah.
and she's crazier on X than she is on her show.
Right. Kyle's lost
You know what I mean?
He was actually a kind of like a normal progressive, and then over the past couple of years, now he's just like a troll account.
Dude, it's like TDS is insane in their brains. I don't know if it's anything else, but just straight TDS out the gazoo.
Yeah, look, man.
And they love Bernie Sanders, and they're crying now that Bernie's not going to get elected back years ago.
Bernie's going to join the Trump movement.
Let's go.
So here's something for you on Thanksgiving. Just be like, yeah, sure. Kyle Kalinske thought that Kamala Harris was going to win Iowa and Florida. So to be fair, he said that was my bearish prediction for what would happen. Kyle Kalinski's actual prediction was that she was going to win every swing state. Ask yourself, why was he wrong? Okay, and why do you listen to people who are wrong?
You could have listened to a coin and it would have been more accurate than him. Like, he managed to be 100% wrong.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. You know, it's hard to be that wrong. But Kamala's, he said my bearish prediction that she wins Iowa and Florida.
Who would even think about Iowa ever going for Kamala Harris? That makes zero sense in anyone's logical brain.
I have no, you have to be seriously delusional to think Iowa's going Democrat.
Yeah.
Not only is it red, but it's trending further and further red. And the midterms were like 9.8 Republican. What's going to happen in 2 years or like a year and a half that's going to shift the other direction 10 points? Nothing. But, you know, people who live in crackpot Wally world watching MSNBC genuinely believe that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, Ann Seltzer said it. And they made excuses. They were like, no, look, man, it's like people hate Trump so much that women are coming out to vote. And then guess what? Women shifted towards Trump.
Yeah. And look at that, what you did with the New York Times. A couple ladies said they hated Trump, but they still voted for him because they cared about other things that mattered more.
Yeah, the TDS, I mean, it's being cured. It's naturally being cleansed by the immune system. His, like, net... what was
Nahu?
Net approval?
Yeah, his like unfavorability was like -16 or something, or -24 in 2016. Now is it like -8? And so he's becoming more normalized. People just don't care as much. You know, we've seen what his administration looks like. People are like, okay, this is actually like pretty good. So it just doesn't work the way that it used to. I was in Madison Square for the rally, and I was walking around all day in a MAGA hat. I got nothing but high fives and support. And then obviously, you know, we're not flipping New York, but you couldn't walk around that city in 2016 with a MAGA hat. You get assaulted.
All right, good for you then. Let's go.
Let's see. Trump's, I guess he's just about as favorable as he's ever been. 44 seems to be the high point. He's at his highest point right now. But I bet if we go dudes, he just jumps way up.
Yeah. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Dudes around, what day do we got?
Dudes for the win.
May 27th. Dudes just said, nah, we like him more. And that's it. And let's do, I bet women just absolutely despise the guy. Oh, yeah, look at that. Women do not like Donald Trump. This is the other crazy thing that's happening, too. We used to have very few television channels. So men and women watch the same thing. And so their worldviews were crafted in much the same way. Now, men and women are isolating themselves based on what they watch. Women are watching sex podcasts and men are watching politics. But the crazy thing is when you look at the data, young men have not been radicalized at all. Women have been. Mm-hmm. When you track the partisanship, you can see like the graph is like, here's dudes. Women go like this, straight up. And then they start, here's what ends up happening. This is the self-selection bias for women in media. They're more like, the radicalized women are more likely to get jobs in media because they're not going to have families. They're more likely to then write and express their worldview, which exacerbates wokeness and then just destroys industry and the Democratic Party. So I guess you can just say wokeness was the greatest gift to Republicans. It has ripped the Democratic Party in half, and in 10 years' time, Democrats have destroyed themselves.
Yeah, I hope that's true. I hope that we can pull it off and dismantle it, because I do fear the counterattack. I mean, there's no way that they're going to just sit on their hands. I think they understood that they were getting themselves into something highly disadvantageous with Kamala, which is why you had, the Washington Post suddenly deciding they're not going to endorse a candidate for the first time ever or something, or for the first time in like the century. You had all these different instances that just should not have existed given the stakes of the election, where Trump is a convicted felon. He has all these new controversies or whatever. But people seem to like more or less be conceding that Kamala Kamala was not going to win, which is why even I think she got turned down by like what 8 or 9 prospective VPs, which would never happen.
I'd never heard that. No.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Gavin Newsom, Gretchen Whitmer, the political
Hero.
talent to the extent that it does exist on the left. All of a sudden, they don't want to hitch their wagon to that. She had to go with Tim Walz, who that was a disaster. So yeah, no one was really confident about that.
What do you think the counterattack might be? Any ideas?
I think it's going to just be more or less what we've seen. I think it's censorship. I think it's mass immigration, a pathway to citizenship like Elizabeth Warren was talking about, Kamala Harris was talking about, persecution of patriots, everything that they can do to just further just clamp down and make it harder for patriots.
And Trump's going to have to do the racist appointments. Take a look at this. 18 to 34-year-olds, 60% unfavorable for Trump. 35 to 49, 56 unfavorable for Trump. 50 to 64, 50% favorable. 65 plus is dead even. This means the older generation is going to move on. The younger generation hates Donald Trump. So we'll see. But let's say like young guys. See, young guys don't like Trump. 35 to 49 among men is just about even, but unfavorable is 1 point higher. 50 to 64, very favorable. And 65 plus men is very favorable. Women overwhelmingly do not like Donald Trump.
I think the young men are going to break out of it.
Yeah.
I feel like they do just because what their world is, and like they like young ladies and they want to get with the young ladies and they watch certain news. But once they
Wow, look at that.
they grow up,
White favorability around May 27th shifted positive, net positive. Let's see white women. White women, 52 to 45.
They still broke though for Trump.
52%,
they
right?
Voted, as a majority.
Yeah.
Wow.
White men and white women.
That's interesting, too, because if you look at Latino favorability, it's 39% favorable, but he won, 45% of Latinos?
Yes.
So a lot of people might be like, I don't like him, but I'm going to vote for him.
Yeah, that's a big
Policy
difference.
Of mass deportation, by the way. I remember George Bush got 39% of Hispanics, and all of the neocons were like, see, this is why we need to get this immigration stuff done and focus more on traditional family values and things that appeal to Hispanics or whatever. And then Trump runs on mass deportations and actually wins more. So immigration is a winning issue. And
Yeah.
Let me
It's 70% of Americans are okay with mass deportations.
I got to show you just how stupid people are. I'm sorry. I got to say it. I don't mean to say everybody's stupid, but a lot of people are. Kamala Harris's job approval rating spiked when she announced that she was running for office. When she took over for the front runner, a bunch of people were just like, now she's doing a good job. It's like, oh, come on, dude. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.